Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I wanted to do a sort of daily planner, time organizer, and Marvel Future Fight type video. I've been asked several times over the years to make one of these videos, and they're pretty tough to make, but I found a way to do it that not only makes sense visually, but also can give you a breakdown of what you need to do if you don't have a lot of time to play. This serves a multi-purpose function. For new players, they know what to prioritize. For returning players, you understand what to prioritize because, you know, if you haven't played the game in a year or 2 years, yeah, the game has changed and different things matter now, and things are going to take you more or less time than you're used to. So it's a really important thing to make sure that you're up to date with these kinds of trends, and that you're maybe, you know, if you're not spending your time properly, maybe you're logging into the game and you're sitting here staring at the screens, you go over to the content status board and you're just like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing first. This type of video can help you to figure that out, and you can even modify it, of course, further on. And I'll give you guys sort of a breakdown of what I believe to be the low and the high for time spent. That should also give you a ballpark of how much time you should be maybe spending on some of these contents, in case, you know, you are spending too much time in one place or another and it's really just not working out for you to your benefit or in your favor. For example, you know, as much as I rag on Alliance Conquest, a lot of players who play it really enjoy it, but if you're not one of those players, it's probably not a good idea to sink the high end of 2 hours or 120 minutes. It's not a good idea to sink that time in 1, 2, or 3 times a day, because the reward you're going to get in return for your effort is probably not going to be worth it compared to a lot of the other content that you could be doing. And especially if you're not playing for that many hours a day. And when I start saying hours a day, some of you guys don't even have an hour to play. I recognize that. But like I said, if you could be spending your time somewhere else more effectively, more efficiently, then you're just going to get more out of the game. It's not that you have to do all of these things every single day. I don't want people to feel pressured, but if you do the things that are most important in terms of priority first, you're going to get more rewards. And if you get more rewards, then you can just do more things in the game, whether that is build meta characters, build off meta characters that you like, just build the characters you like in general, or hoard resources for when your favorite character gets a rework or whatever down the road, right? All of these things, if they have fun value in them for you, if there's some sort of intrinsic fun value, then go ahead and do it. So we're going to start off with check dailies / check-in / acquire all. This is just the grab all text for what I usually do when I start off the game right at the very beginning. When I open up Marvel Future Fight, it shouldn't take you more than 5 minutes. This is, you know, opening up the game, seeing your login rewards, because you'll be prompted with the check-in rewards. Most important thing to do is to just check in every day if you want to get the easy rewards. That's going to be a free CTP almost every month, and, you know, the host of other rewards. You guys know the deal, right? Just checking in, right? If there's nothing else you can do in Marvel Future Fight, just check in. You're gonna get some rewards, easy peasy kind of thing, right? That shouldn't take you very long. You go over to your alliance, you press check in. I've already pressed it for today, and then when I say acquire all has a couple of different flavors. I already showed you the acquire all in the gift tab, where you hit that down there, but I also mean going over to dispatch and hitting this button and then just spamming this button as well. This is definitely a good idea to do this when you first log into the game for the day, because chances are you haven't hit up your dispatch and you've got a lot of banked up rewards sitting there. So that's a very high priority thing. Next thing to do, again, this is sort of maximizing your resources, but not necessarily maximizing your time. So keep in mind, even though I listed this second, this priority is actually medium. So if you want highest priority, you would skip ahead to World Boss. I actually think after you check into the game and you've collected your daily rewards, you should go straight to World Boss if you're really strapped for time and you can actually play the game. If you're really strapped for time and you have to auto, then you would go down to auto playing co-op. But yeah, that's a decision you can obviously make yourself. But if you don't have, you know, a very short window of time to play, if you've got whatever 20 minutes, half an hour, then here is where it would be a good idea, if you can, to burn your energy with boost points and without boost points. I make that distinction because with boost points, your best bet, if you need gold ASAP, is to run or auto click, like auto clear ticket, the 2 to 6 run epic quests. And what I mean by that is when you go over to the content status board, all of the quests that have a 6 or a 2 next to them. So you've got Playing Hero, 2 out of 2, Golden Gods, Fate of the Universe, The Fault, Beginning of Chaos, Twisted World, Doomsday, Big Twin. You get what I'm saying, right? You could skip Stupid X-Men, and you could probably skip Veiled Secret unless you really need the X-Men materials. But yeah, up to mutual enemy, farming those ones. And so what I do is I switch to my farming team to gather XP. I use the back button on my Android phone, and I just, boom, I go in and I clear ticket, and then I skip back out. And you can see I can actually get this done really quickly if you abuse the back button on the Android device that you're using. You can also do this on an emulator. You cannot do this on an Apple device, to the best of my knowledge. Maybe they've you know, improved their, I don't know, maybe you have a back button now for the Apple boys. Did I say Android? Anyways, Androids can do this. I'm not sure if Apple can do this, but yeah, burning your energy with boost points. The two best places are there because those rewards and those quests will give you more gold reward, or in the giant boss raid. And that would just be one run of giant boss raid to get as many cosmic, or sorry, as many comic book cubes, comic crafting cubes that you can get. So I usually what I actually do, I don't actually run this first. When I log in the morning, I'll do this navigation thing, and then I'll do one giant boss raid run. If it's taking you more than 5 minutes to do a giant boss raid run, maybe consider not doing it, because 5 minutes is a really long time, unless maybe it's Galactus. But yeah, if you're weak enough that it's going to take you the full 10 minutes, you should probably just skip it for now until you can build up a stronger roster, because it's not worth grinding for 10 minutes on Master Mold to get some paltry reward. And then if you don't have boost points, but you still want to burn energy, and I see people running, like right now I have like 800 energy, spare energy. You shouldn't have that much energy. You should be burning your energy. So at this point, you would run the epic quest missions if you need bios for the other characters. So I'm talking the ones where you can farm 10 times. If you need these bios specifically, or you need these rewards, whatever they are, for, you know, Scorpion, Green Goblin, Thing, Human Torch, like if you really need the gear up kits, right? So you're like, oh man, you're really gonna go farm this over here. Really need these gear up kits and these bios for Human Torch. You just go in and clear ticket them, and then the stage 15 of the dimension missions, you would then go and clear ticket these ones here. Again, you want to clear ticket these. If you really want, you can auto play these if you're not a high enough VIP level, but you still want to grind the uniform XP. I do recognize that some people, if they have enough time, they will grind these out one by one. Obviously, it takes a lot of time, but yeah. I also included in there collecting stuff from the shop. So if anything you need to buy when you're here, you might as well go ahead and buy it. So I'm going to hit these up here. But yeah, this should all be done sort of in one shot to minimize the number of times that you're going back and forth between the menus, and to maximize your efficiency. Again, I've allotted up to 30 minutes if you really want to clear these missions solo. But again, if you're spending more than 30 missions running them one at a time, that's on you. That's your call. You're probably, you know, you probably have a lot of time to play, and you've probably set up a schedule for yourself already. After that, you're just going to hit up World Boss Ultimate, World Boss Legend. Again, it's up to you whether you're going to do the really easy stage 1, or you want to crank up the difficulty to stage 99, or if you want to re-roll your World Boss of the Day, WBOTD. That's up to you. Obviously, if you have the VIP level for it, and if you have the time for it. Some days I don't, so I just play stage 9 of Mephisto or Null. Other days I do, so I play more. Shouldn't really take you more than 5 minutes if you're dialing it down to stage 1, unless you're a brand new player. And again, I allotted up to 60 minutes here. This is really generous. You shouldn't really be spending 60 minutes on this, because it's probably going to be a lot of frustration and restarts. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. So yeah, I would monitor this. If it's more than like half an hour, I would say, then you might be really challenging yourself too much. Again, unless you have a ton of time to play, and that's really something that you would decide on an individual basis. But for the most part, and by and large, the rewards for World Boss Ultimate and World Boss Legend do not vary tremendously. So the benchmark that we usually give is stage 20 for World Boss Ultimate. That is what you should probably aim for if you can. But if you've unlocked, all the way up to 99, the difference between 20 and 99 as far as the rewards go is not that much. So if you can clear 5 stages of 20 in 5 minutes, but it's going to take you half an hour to do 5 stages of 99, some days you're going to do the 99, sure, and some days you're going to do the stage 20, and that makes perfect sense, right? After that, if you've done all of this stuff here up to World Boss, my opinion is autoplay co-op. Autoplaying co-op should probably not take you that long. I know some people have bad connections, or they have they're further away from a server or whatever, so you can allot like 10 to 20 minutes for this. But honestly, if it's taking you more than 20 minutes because it's just really slow, you should monitor your phone. Otherwise, I just set it and forget it. Like, I set up autoplay to go, and I just go and do something else, and I come back in 10 minutes and it's done. It's fairly straightforward. The priority here is high as well. I want to note this. The priority is high, but it really depends on your VIP level. If you have a low VIP, well, if you have 0 VIP, then co-op is not as rewarding as it is for anyone above VIP 0. So even for VIP 1 and up, autoplay is the best place to get gold. So yeah, the priority can technically not be high, but for the vast majority of players, the priority is high. Then I would honestly suggest collecting your tokens during events. This one, it's sort of up in the air, because maybe you want to collect your tokens right away. Maybe you just want to go in here and make sure that you've collected all your tokens because you're neurotic about it and you don't want to miss your tokens. So in that case, you would go and knock out these quests first, right? The way that I play, I'll do all of my dailies, like I'll run through this whole list, and then I will go at the end to collect my tokens. But even then, sometimes I forget. So you could just sprinkle this in between your schedule for Marvel Future Fight, like maybe, you know, after 15 minutes of playing, after half an hour of playing, whatever. And then you'll knock them out one by one or sort of in batches, but you won't forget, right? You obviously do this sooner if you don't have as much time, because these tokens are usually extremely valuable and you don't want to miss out on any of them. So in this case, running 5 dispatch missions, I wouldn't recommend that you do that every day under normal circumstances, but under the circumstances of this event quest, yeah, you're going to want to get your 5 dispatch mission runs in, because otherwise you're giving up 15 tokens a day, which means you're not going to be able to get the good rewards, the Mega Tier 2 ticket, the premium card, so on and so forth. So yeah, this one's a little bit dependent on what's going on in the game, but honestly, the way that they've staggered events, there's usually an event going on in the game at one point or another. So just check periodically, right? This shouldn't take you more than a minute. If it is, you're doing something wrong here. From then on, you know, the list of quests that are going to give you, the list of content that's going to give you a lot of rewards is actually pretty low. So if you take a look at the quests that actually give you a high volume of rewards in return, it's very few. It's co-op, it's World Boss Ultimate, it's the token events, and it's the check-ins, and sort of the daily rewards that you get, and then maybe the rest of your dailies and things like that, especially if you're free to play and you need those 25 crystals, 50 energy from the trivia. But everything else is going to give you a medium to low amount of rewards. The one arguable difference being the story mode fragment farming, if you have a lot of the characters or all of the characters, to guarantee yourself fragments, to guarantee yourself chests. But that's obviously dependent on your account. But in my opinion, you should autoplay, or you should prioritize squad battle. The reason why I say squad battle is because you're basically locked out of transcending characters if you don't play squad battle, right? World Boss is going to give you tier 2 and tier 3 materials, CCF, books. Like, it's going to give you everything you need. Thank you, Mateo, but no thanks. It's going to give you everything you need to tier 3 characters. But if you ignore squad battle, then, you know, people like, you should transcend Hulkbuster, or man, like, you should transcend Gambit, he's so good. You can't. I can't do that. Transcend Valkyrie, I can't transcend Valkyrie. I can't awaken Gwenum. You can't do any of that, because those rewards are sort of locked. Not exactly, you know, 100% locked, but like 90% locked behind squad battle. I'm talking about awakening crystals and Mandalay gem fragments. So this is actually a really important game mode for doing that. So yeah, I said medium, but it's probably more like high. Keep in mind that you can autoplay squad battle, and you can still get the majority of rewards besides the rank 1, 2, or 3 Mandalay gem fragment rewards. Just by doing this, you know, just by getting 800 points in each of them. Once you get up to Vibranium, you should probably be able to do that with all these teams. The only thing I want to point out is, for squad battle, you can split your time up, or you can do it all in one go. And I sort of reflected that in the fact that you can just play 5 minutes once a day for 7 days, or you can do it all in one shot in 30 minutes and get all 6 of them done. However, you will have to do a daily participation if you want the maximum rewards at least once per week, because there are 7 days in a week, but there's only 6 days of squad battle. But every single day you get the daily participation reward, and it's actually really good in Vibranium. It's 19 extra Mandalays per day. That's almost 140 per week. So let's say I allot these, and, you know, I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the left, and I do Thursday, Friday, Saturday on the right side there with Sharon Rogers and Baron Zemo. That still leaves Sunday. So that means on Sunday, I have to autoplay. I have to repeat one of these days, just set it on autoplay and leave for 5 minutes in order to collect that extra daily participation reward. You'll have to do that more or less. Well, more than once, but never less than once, depending on, you know, what your concentration of play is for squad battle. But just keep that in mind. Then I have timeline battle. Again, you can autoplay it or you can play it yourself. Most events now require you to do at least 5 participations in timeline, so keep that in mind. Again, it shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes unless you're in Challenger League and you're doing some, funky stuff or you're refreshing. But yeah, for the most part, it should take you 10 to 15 minutes. Then Shadowland. Shadowland, like Squad Battle, the rewards are pretty good and, you shouldn't ignore it. But at the same time, the amount of time that you take can vary tremendously. So if you're just going to do one stage a day, that one stage could just take you 1 minute. You just jump into stage 1, blam it out, and you're done. But if you want to do a bunch of runs, it could take you an hour, right? It's really up to you, but you should set it up and you should sort of allot your time so you can climb up as high as you can. If you can't hit 35 yet, always try to climb as high as you can until 35. And then once you can hit 35 comfortably, I would say just stop at 35. There's the one-time rewards that you should obviously climb up to once, but I can't really accurately reflect that in this sort of video, so I'm not going to bother with that. But that's like a whole other basket of content, and you have to plan for that weeks in advance, and you have to put out spreadsheets yourself and all that stuff. People who have climbed, like myself, will tell you that it's a whole thing. It's like a game within a game. After Shadowland, I would say play Alliance Battle Extreme. The cutoffs for good rewards, like the tiers of rewards that are actually good, are in ABX, hitting 600,000 points and then 1, 3, and 5 million. So if you're not a competitive ABX player, you can just get up to 5 million every single day that you can and then just stop playing. And your character will die or the timer will run out. That's going to take you 3 to 6 minutes. It's 3 minutes for Alliance Battle, and then it's another 3 minutes for Alliance Battle Extreme. So you can actually be in and out 6 minutes a day for Alliance Battle and Alliance Battle Extreme, which is really good when you consider the rewards there. However, this 6 minutes is going to balloon if you are a competitive player. But again, I'm not going to reflect that here because that could be 60 minutes for some players, right? Because they're just sitting there repeating, practicing, trying new sets, trying new rotations. It's a whole thing. They have their grind. I respect it. But yeah, for the average player, you're just trying to get in, get out, and get the rewards that are important to you. From then on, from there, I would say finish your annoying dailies and do the trivia. Annoying dailies would be things like Danger Room. Do I have it today? I don't. Combining an ISO is pretty annoying. Danger Room is really annoying. World Boss Invasion is pretty annoying because you have to queue in and you have to deal with like lag and servers and connecting to different players and stuff like that. So I would say bang out those last annoying dailies and do the trivia. Again, you would have to do this sooner if you have less time. Maybe you just check in. Like, it's possible that you're just doing 4 and you're just doing 16 and then you're getting out of there. It's definitely possible. If you're just logging in for those 25 crystals, it's definitely possible. But yeah. From there, I would say you can probably bang out Legendary Battle. It's pretty fast. Thor Ragnarok, the fight against Hulk, is the fastest. It should honestly take you less than 5 minutes. Then I would say Story Mode Fragment Farming probably makes sense. Also prioritize the fastest missions if you need to, if you don't have a lot of time. So I just wrote down some of the fastest missions, 1-1, 3-1, and 7-3 in the Dimensional Clash. Dimensional Clash has some pretty short missions, but all the other ones and all of the other story chapters, they're quite a bit longer, so they're not really fast, like under 1 minute quests. But yeah, if you're only doing one, it can technically take you 1 minute. But if you're going to be farming there and getting all of the fragments in all 4 chapters, it could take you like an hour or more. So this is very much like Shadowland. It's sort of like pick your poison. How much do you really want to invest here with your time? But I usually do this at the end of my day, at the end of the daily reset, after I've done sort of everything else. And then here we have Alliance Conquest, and then we have Farm GBR, like Giant Boss Raid, World Boss Invasion, Danger Room Extreme, and then Auto Playing Dispatch Overnight. So these last 3, again, it really just depends on yourself as a player. I don't play any Conquest, so that would be like 5 minutes or less for me. For some players who want to play for an entire round of the day, there's 3 rounds a day. That could be 2 hours. So again, it really depends on you as a player and what your alliance requires of you. If they're an alliance that plays Conquest heavily, then they're going to require at least 120 minutes a day investment from you, plus refreshing characters in between. So yeah, that's going to eat into your time definitely. Farming these 3 game modes, again, I would only really farm them if you need these specific rewards from them. But that's a variable time frame that you have to decide, and also depending on how much energy you have left to play with, because if you don't have any energy, you can't farm. And then Auto Playing Dispatch. My only thing for Dispatch, my only tip is I probably wouldn't overnight farm Dispatch unless you can overnight farm 7-1 and up. The reason for that, of course, is the rewards after 7-1 get better. So if you check out 7-1, you can see the rewards are in gold because you can get regular cards and you can get premium cards like the White Fox card, etc. You can get regular obelisks and you can get CTPs. But on 6-5, it is not gold, it is the silver color. You cannot get CTPs. So yeah, I wouldn't overnight farm Dispatch unless you can do 7-1. And of course, I would only overnight farm it if you can consistently overnight farm it, because you don't want to set up your phone to overnight farm and then your characters die on the second run and then your phone is just plugged in on draining its long life battery, right? Like draining the overall life of the battery overnight. You got to make a lot of decisions here with this sacrifice of your device, but yeah. So it's sort of interesting here. Overall, I calculated that even if you're as fast as lightning and you ignore conquest and you don't do any other farming, you skip story mode, you're spending at least 55 minutes a day in game, which I think is kind of a lot considering that you're playing sort of the bare minimum. You're sort of dipping your finger into each of the different sauces and just taking a little lick. That sounds kind of gross, but you get what I'm saying. You're taking a little sip of 10 different cans of pop. On the flip side, if you want to hardcore super farm everything in the game every single day, it's going to cost you probably around 7.5 hours. Now, one of these things Squad Battle and Shadowland don't actually continue to repeat this amount of time spent, like the 1 hour situation here. So this is it ends up being a little bit less, but it could actually be more if you decide to play more Squad Battle, more Conquest or more story mode fragment farming. So it's actually pretty crazy that you can spend 7+ hours in game farming different content and not actually end up repeating a game mode. That's the variety of game modes and also the length of the game modes. Pretty wild. Last but not least, I just want to highlight a couple things here that I didn't talk about in terms of it taking you time, but I do acknowledge that it does take away time from the game and you're just going to have to do it sooner or later. Clearing your inventory, so that like selling items in your inventory that you don't need so that you can continue playing, because it's going to stop you saying your inventory is full. The Alliance shop / Alliance donation, sending and receiving assemble points. You better send them or I'm going to kick you off my friends list. Crafting items, we just saw the craft event, obviously that takes time, and then turning off and turning back on the SFX for characters that need it on and for characters that absolutely need it off to function. So with that being said, hopefully this video has hit 2 birds with 1 stone. I've helped you sort of organize a routine for yourself so you can get through Marvel Future Fight as fast as possible. If you're the type of person that doesn't have a lot of time to play, but you want to keep up with the game, you want to keep up with your resources, you want to sort of stockpile stuff, and also to highlight what is most important if you are a new or returning player, so you know what you should be focusing and spending your time on, and also so you have a ballpark, right? If you're, for whatever reason, spending, half an hour doing timeline battle, that should be reevaluated, right? It really shouldn't take that long. If you're spending too much time refreshing opponents or your team is set up in a way that just stalls out the match for 5 minutes, there's probably a better way of organizing that and setting that up so it doesn't eat as much of your time and it doesn't sort of drag you down. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.